Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art, but not this time. This time, we're going to do a little bit of horror unboxing. And of course, I have already opened the box, the stuff that arrived yesterday, and I've stuff I ordered. This is from Warrant Publishing, some of their horror mags. These are all recent issues, the last 6 months or so of their titles, issues that I had missed. So I ordered them about a month ago, and they just arrived. So we'll take a look here at what has come in. Okay, here we have the world's #1 illustrated horror magazine, Shudder number 17. Of course, that's just from earlier this year, with this painted cover by the late Ken Kelly. And of course, Kelly was a fairly prolific artist for book covers, a lot of Robert E. Howard and Conan book covers, stuff like that, and at least one, if not two, album covers for Kiss, and a couple very famous ones too. And of course, these Warrant publications are even the name is based on the Warren publishing horror magazines like Creepy and Eerie, etc., from decades past, and they sometimes include some of the writers and artists from those publications, including one of the editors is Don Glut, who I've talked about many times here, who was one of the writers for Warren Publishing, as well as having created Dr. Spectre, Dagar the Invincible, and Dragon the Sky Gods, etc., for Gold Key Comics in the 70s. Here, but this is August 2024, so it's a little over 6 months ago. But these are bi-monthly, and of course they have anthology horror in the Warren and EC tradition. There's some really nice artwork, and and they have a tendency, like for these when they use these older paintings like this, have a tendency to create a story that goes along with that cover painting, and then they often have ads for the Frank Frazetta Museum, because they use a lot of his artwork. And some cool stuff. Monsters Anonymous and A Feral Feline Friend, and they often have a humorous twist to the story. Then Shudder number 19 with a great Frank Frazetta story. Frank Frazetta cover, and of course it's got right here the story based on that. You can see here panels that are inspired by elements of the cover painting, like that figure there is directly from the cover, and this figure here is directly from the cover, etc., and various other things. And then of course an ad for the Frazetta Museum. Then issue 20 of Shudder with another Ken Kelly. Is that the Terror as the Axeman Cometh. And it has always some great artwork. Here's neat. They always do something like this. I like this, where they have characters, or the images of certain characters based on well-known actors. Like here's it's about gangland ghouls, about gangsters. So they have James Cagney and Edgar G. Robinson. And this, I think, is based on the actor who played Dr. Frankenstein in the original Frankenstein movie, I think. Looks like him anyway. Living Mummy. Oh, looks like some good horror reading and some great artwork. Oh, look at that. Look at all that. And that's all of Shudder. Then I have Vampiress Carmilla. Here, sporting a Sanjulian cover. Sanjulian is a Spanish artist born in Barcelona. His name is Manuel Perez Salente. And he is still around. And Return from the Domain of the Dead. Cool cover painting. And, of course, cool interior horror stories and art. Always lovely stuff. And speaking of Don Glut, here's one of his stories, Ghoul on Ghoul, and The Bloody Bride, and of course our titular hostess, Vampiress Carmilla, who herself has a long pedigree. From I cannot remember the author. Vampire novel that was helped inspire Bram Stoker to write his own Dracula, and that book was Carmilla. It's been adapted to various film versions, and then we have another with Vampiress Carmilla number 24, featuring a Frank Frazetta cover. And this is a classic twist on the King Kong story. And he and Frazetta painted two different King Kong paintings as covers for different editions of the King Kong novel. And the Curse of Krong, yeah. Is that one? And of course, the lady grows big and she snatches the ape, and then the Haunted Child. Very, very nice stuff. Looks like, it looks like the gray wash is done by hand, which I prefer to the gray tones done on a computer screen. And then we finish this up with Vampiress Carmilla number 25 with another great Sanjulian cover. Lovely female figure. Of course, Sanjulian has done many magazine and book covers, primarily horror and fantasy, over the many decades of his long career. And this is great with a woman and a Triceratops. Of course, the Triceratops would be much larger than that, but yeah, I had to fit it into the into the image here. Strange World. Oh yeah, a dinosaur story. That looks good. Oh yeah. Ooh, Castle of Frankenstein. I got that issue. And what other creepy art things have we got here to finish up with? Burning Love. Hunka Burning Love. Okay. And that, and of course I know I have ads for back issues on the back, which is how I ordered these. So that is what I have to share with you this time with my little unboxing of some great Warrant horror issues. Has some great interior art, great stories, and all kinds of good things like that. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Do you get any of the either of these Warrant horror issues titles? Let me know about that too. It's something I never hear about, and I very seldom see anything on YouTube, comics YouTube channels about these books. And I just love them. So thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.